Hi there. This is a set of videos that I put together just for you. I look forward to reading your comments and receiving your suggestions on how to make these videos more enjoyable or ideas for specific content that you might have. Thanks for watching. Today, Porsches include a 914, a 944, a Boxster, and 5 911s. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Late Pumpkin, an orange over black 1973 914 sold for $12,555. Several opportunities for improvement here, but still a fair sale. A reddish Rest of World 1981 911 SC convertible conversion project sold for $21,231. Originally a Targa, this is a rough customer. A salvage title was issued 20 years ago, and there are many history gaps. This seems well sold, but perhaps someone can make something from the questionable engine and transmission. A Carmona Red over Gray 25,000 mile 2004 911 C4S Cabriolet sold for $39,500. Uncommon exterior color, very common interior gray-y, gloomy gray. This was well purchased. A black 1985 911 Coupe with 69,000 miles sold for $71,911. A very nice 3.2 Coupe. This sale was sidetracked by some inappropriate comments, perhaps spooking some bidders, and as a result, this was well purchased. A Polar Silver over Black 19,000 mile 2001 911 Turbo Coupe sold for $86,000. A fat price for a 996 Turbo, partially warranted by the low mileage and great condition, this was still very well sold. A Miami Blue 10,000 mile 2019 911 GT3 Touring sold for $235,000. Sticker here was $189,000. This was also very well sold. On Cars and Bids, a black 1987 944S Coupe with at least 111,000 miles sold for $10,200. A broken gear odometer car. This isn't too bad, but the price is on the high side of fair. On P-Car Market, a Midnight Blue over Sand Beige 29,000 mile 2005 Boxster sold for $20,000. A car with a mysterious engine ticking and a quicksand interior. This may have been a fair sale. 5 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 1st. An Aventurine Green over Black 1995 Porsche 911 C4 Cabriolet with 15,000 miles was bid to $81,993. A black 1996 911 C4S with 84,000 miles was bid to $98,000. A Grand Prix White 43,000 mile 1994 911 C4 widebody was bid to $175,000. A Guards Red over Cashmere Beige 11,000 mile 1989 911 Speedster was bid to $200,000. A Bianco over Blue 14,000 mile 1987 Ferrari 328 GTS was bid to $102,500. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, a 914, a Cayman, and 9 911s. Ferraris include a 308 and a 348. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include an Arctic Silver over Black 34,000 mile 2009 911S Cabriolet that sold for $63,000. A clean car, this was well sold. A Tangerine over Black 1970 911E Targa sold for $64,000. One of 932 produced for the year, this has had most of the systems touched and it seems to run okay. This was likely a fair sale. A slate blue 1983 911 SC coupe with 85,000 miles sold for $65,000. Bid to $38,000 5 years ago, this was a fair sale on an above-average SC. A black over cashmere beige 21,000 mile 1998 911 Cabriolet sold for $66,000. Another example of a less expensive way to get into a 993, this was a fair sale based on comps, yet I think it's a bit of a bargain. A Cassis red over burgundy 1987 911 Cabriolet M491 presented by a great seller sold for $81,000. A fabulous car at a fabulous price. This color doesn't appeal to some, and the interior is likely similarly polarizing. This, though, was well purchased. A Grand Prix white over blue 1991 911 coupe with 81,000 miles, presented by a great seller, sold for $105,000. Bid to $112,000 in September. This was well purchased. A midnight blue original owner 2004 911 GT3 with 20,000 miles sold for $141,000. Yikes. A superb example. The interior is just too much natural brown. One commenter noted that the leather used is superior to others in 911s, and they also noted that on a car that they own, they installed some carbon touches to break up the brown. Indeed, this was well purchased. A Riviera Blue 14,000 mile 2011 911 GT3 sold for $278,993. The blue interior splotches are not to my taste, nor are the yellow belts. The original belts were included in the sale. A stunning car, this was very well sold. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over beige, original owner 1981 308 GTSI with 10,000 miles sold for $92,000. A desirable car on many fronts, this was a fair sale, and I think a touch of a bargain. On Cars and Bids, a black modified 2007 Porsche Cayman S with 51,000 miles sold for $28,987. Exhaust, suspension, a wing on the back. This was on the high side of fair. A Grigio over black modified 1994 Ferrari 348 Spider sold for $55,555. This price is reasonable, but I wouldn't call the air suspension reasonable. This was probably a fair sale. On P-Car Market, a black over Savannah beige 2000 Porsche 911 Cabriolet with 78,000 miles sold for $21,250. Some important maintenance has been performed here, but not the IMS. This was a fair sale on the low side of fair, yellow central. A black 1962 356B Carmen notchback coupe sold for $85,000. It seems to drive okay, and the price isn't outrageous. This was a fair sale. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 2nd. A black over tan modified turbocharged Subaru-powered 1973 Porsche 914 was bid to $38,750. A Guards red over black 31,000 mile 1986 911 Cabriolet was bid to $49,999. On Cars and Bids, a Guards red 1991 944 S2 with 124,000 miles was bid to $9,300. A triple black 2010 Boxster S with 54,000 miles was bid to $26,750. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 914, a 968, a Boxster, and 6 911s. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a silver over black 1975 914 2.0 that was sold for $30,495. A few opportunities here, but overall, a very nice car. This was well sold. A Grand Prix white over black, 26 years owned, 1988 911 Cabriolet with 89,000 miles, sold for $41,000. A steal on a mostly clean 3.2 coupe, this car was stolen and recovered. Even with a color change inside, this is a great driver 3.2. A GT Silver 8,000 mile 2017 911 coupe sold for $77,000. Sticker here was $96,000. This was a fair sale. A Meteor Gray 2007 911 Turbo Coupe with 56,000 miles sold for $81,500. $100,000 has been my price barometer for decent 997 Turbo Coupes at a bargain. This qualifies. Well purchased. A tan, backdated 1989 911 Coupe 3.6 liter sold for $133,000. Tan is not normally in my wheelhouse, but this car has been exceptionally well built. This was well purchased. A Guards Red 1987 911 Turbo Coupe with 46,000 miles sold for $134,000. A clean car, this was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, an Arctic Silver over Black 1997 Boxster with 77,000 miles sold for $9,700. A few light mods in place, still a bargain. On PCAR Market, a Grand Prix White 1992 968 Coupe with 116,000 miles sold for $13,800. I've previously expressed my appreciation for this series, and even with the suboptimal interior colors, this was a bargain. A Dolphin Gray 1989 911 C4 Coupe described as a resto mod sold for $136,250. Resto mod exteriors usually evoke a previous generation of a 911. This one looks suspiciously like a 964. It's a decent car though, and likely was a more than fair purchase. I'll compare this car to the tan one we saw earlier in today's short video. 4 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 3rd. A Guards Red over Black 1985 Porsche 911 Targa with 180,000 kilometers located in Canada was bid to $45,100. A Guards Red 2011 911 Coupe with 49,000 miles was bid to $50,000. A gray 1965 356C Coupe was bid to $95,000. A racing yellow 4,700 mile 2018 911 GT3 presented by a great seller was bid to $183,500. On Cars and Bids, a Meteor Gray 2008 911 C4S Cabriolet with 98,000 miles was bid to $32,500. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a pair of 944s, a Boxster, a 911, and on the Italian side, a Dino. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a modified 1987 944S with 281,000 miles sold for $12,394. Acquired here in May for $13,750. This was a fair sale. A crystal green 38,000 mile 1985 and a half 944 sold for $11,044. Bid to $11,194 here 2 years ago. There are questions regarding mileage and there are missing parts throughout the car. This was probably well sold. A Basalt Black 2009 911 Turbo Coupe with 65,000 miles sold for $90,000. I mentioned the other day that $100,000 is my bargain target price for a 997 Turbo. This was well purchased. A gentian blue over black 1800 mile 2020 Boxster Spider sold for $120,750. Sticker here was probably somewhere around $125. This was well sold. On the Italian side, a blue Dino 1972 Dino 246 GT with 52,000 miles sold for $514,246. A stunning example. This was, at $500,000, a fair price. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. 7 cars on Bring a Trailer were bidded with their reserves not met November 4th and 5th. An ivory over tan 2.1 liter powered 1975 Porsche 914 was bid to $14,500. An Arctic Silver 2003 911 Coupe X51 with 71,000 miles was bid to $34,996. A light ivory 1968 912 Coupe was bid to $37,800. A repainted blue 1977 911S Coupe with 83,000 miles was bid to $40,000. A Carmona red 26,000 mile 2007 911S Coupe was bid to $57,000. A white and blue ex-Holbert Racing 1982 924 Carrera GTR was bid to $89,999. A Rosso Corsa 1988 Ferrari Testarossa with 16,000 miles was bid to $130,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a pair of 944s, a pair of 987s, a Boxster and a Cayman, 4 911s, and a Ferrari 348. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Late Pumpkin, an orange over black 2008 Boxster limited edition with 67,000 miles. It sold for $28,750. One of 250 in a limited edition. This one previously owned by John Schneider of Dukes of Hazzard fame. This was a fair sale. A Guards Red turbocharged 2008 Cayman S with 31,000 miles sold for $35,500. Said to produce 380 or more horsepower. That's impressive, assuming that the work was competently completed. This was well sold. An ice green 2003 911 C4S Coupe X51 with 93,000 miles sold for $46,000. The sale price is perhaps on the upper end of the fair zone for a standard color car. This color adds several thousand to that range, and this was a fair sale. A Platinum 7,000 mile 2012 911S Coupe sold for $84,000. Sticker here was $112,000, and this 991 is in exceptional condition, the beige offensive in a like-new manner. This was a fair sale. A Mexico Blue modified RSR style 1977 911S Coupe twin plug 3 liter sold for $106,000. A very nice car at a bargain price relative to what it might cost to recreate. An Arena Red modified 1996 911 Turbo 3.8 liter with 41,000 miles sold for $185,000. A good car, a stronger and more capable 993 Turbo, and because of the mods, this sold for less than would a stock car. This was a fair sale. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over Nero 1992 348 TS with 68,000 miles sold for $61,000. This seems like an honest driver 348, and it was well purchased. On P-Car Market, a pair of Guards Red 944s. A Guards Red over Black, one owner 1991 944 S2 Cabriolet with 72,000 miles sold for $9,100. Fitted with a snazzy bra, this was well purchased. A 1986 944 Turbo with 67,000 miles sold for $24,250. Very clean and with sports seats, this was well sold. I'll compare these 944s in today's short video. 5 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 6th. A bare metal 1958 Porsche 356A 1600 Coupe project car was bid to $32,750. An Amazon Green 1993 968 Coupe with 98,000 kilometers was bid to $41,917. A Grand Prix White 1978 930 Turbo with 50,000 miles was bid to $115,000. A repainted silver 1958 356A Speedster was bid to $293,000. A Rosso Corsa over beige 11,000-mile 2003 Ferrari 360 Spider was bid to $142,360. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 914, two 944s, a Boxster, a Cayman, and 3 911s. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a red over beige modified 1970 914 with 56,000 miles that sold for $14,500. This, well sold. A Guards Red 1986 944 Turbo with 118,000 miles sold for $15,250. Decent car, nice price, well purchased. A GT Silver 2007 Cayman S with 87,000 miles sold for $25,500. A clean car with a seemingly forthright seller, this was on the low side of the fair zone. A Guards Red 2000 911 Coupe with 89,000 miles sold for $25,850. Ducktail. Yep, this was a fair sale. A Basalt Black over Gray 49,000-mile 2008 911 Cabriolet sold for $37,750. A fair price, this is where I think 997s should be sold. Another black 997, this a 12,000-mile 2007 911 Targa 4S presented by a great seller, sold for $86,001. A fat price on a fine car, but $50,000 more than the previous 997? This was very well sold. I'll talk about this pair in today's short video. On Cars and Bids, a black modified 1989 944 with a 250,000 miles, 227,000 miles, sold for $6,800. Lots of miles here, but fair to a bargain still. An Arctic Silver over Black 2006 Boxster S with 10,000 miles sold for $25,000. A clean car, this was a slight bargain. One car on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, November 7th. A black 3,600-mile 2007 911 Turbo Coupe was bid to $133,000. Should have sold. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, 3 Boxsters, and 6 911s, among them a GT2 and a pair of GT3 RSs. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a Seal Gray over Gray 2001 Boxster with 87,000 miles that sold for $10,250. A nice car with a gray and black interior. This was well purchased. A glacier white over gray, original owner 1997 911 C4 Cabriolet with 52,000 miles, sold for $72,593. Glacier has a nice bluish hue. The interior color is worse than the Boxster, but the styling to me is superior. This was a fair sale. An Irish Green, 21 years owned, 1965 356 SC Coupe, sold for $86,000. A decent 356 driver, this was a fair sale. A Forest Green, 1989 911 Coupe, sold for $91,000. Not a bad car. To me, though, the paint doesn't pop as it should. The interior is certainly light. This was well sold. An Arctic Silver 20,000 mile 2003 911 GT2 presented by a great seller, sold for $192,000. Just over 300 of these, what some would call Ultimate 996s, were produced worldwide, with about 90 coming to the US. This beautiful example was a fair sale, edging near a bargain. A Carrera White 2008 911 GT3 RS with 22,000 miles, sold for $218,000. One of 410 built for the U.S. market, this potent performer was well purchased. On Cars and Bids, a lovely lapis blue over gray 2003 Boxster S with 50,000 miles was sold for $17,000. I'm not going to beat up the interior, but I do want to show this interior compared to the first Boxster. The steering wheel makes a difference, no? This was a fair sale. A speed yellow over black 2005 Boxster with 67,000 miles, sold for $19,500. A clean Boxster in above average condition, this was a fair sale. I'll compare today's Boxsters in today's short video. On PCAR Market, a white 2023 911T Coupe with 218 miles, sold for $129,250. Sticker on this lightweight 911 was $134,000. This was a fair sale. A Carrera White and Blue 17,000 mile 2004 911 GT3 RS, sold for $385,000. One of 682 produced, initially sent to Belgium. It was U.S. federalized at a cost of more than $100,000, and it's never been on a track. This was well sold. Two 911 C4Ss on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 8th. A Seal Gray over Gray 27,000 mile 2004 911 C4S Cabriolet was bid to $34,250. A black 1996 911 C4S with 54,000 miles was bid to $116,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include three 911s, a Cayman, and a 914. On the Ferrari side, a 330 GTC. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include an Ocean Blue over Savannah Beige 1999 911 Cabriolet with 80,000 miles. It sold for $23,000. A bargain with beige in all its glory, well purchased. A speed yellow, very yellow 10,000 mile 2008 911 Turbo Cabriolet, sold for $164,000. A car that found the right buyer at a high price. There is an excess of yellow here to me. Well sold. For Ferrari, a Grigio Titanio 17,000 mile 2003 360 Modena, sold for $110,360. The seller noted that he had invested $145,000 over the course of his ownership. This was well purchased. A red 1967 330 GTC sold for $580,000. A published and award-winning car, one of 598 produced, this was very well sold. On Cars and Bids, an Arctic Silver 2002 Porsche 911 C4S Coupe with 118,000 miles sold for $30,250. C4Ss are great performers, and this, even with the mileage, this was well purchased. On PCAR Market, a black 32,000 mile 2008 Cayman S sold for $36,500. A nice car, this was well sold. A repainted white 1977 911 S Coupe sold for $47,911. Originally apple green, a rare color, this was a fair sale and potentially very lucrative should the new owner invest the money to return it to green. A black 1974 914 6 GT Tribute 3-liter sold for $105,000. A build executed at an extremely high caliber, this was well sold. I'll show more and talk about this Tribute in today's short video. 4 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 9th. A Guards Red Euro 1985 Porsche 928S with 98,000 miles was bid to $17,750. A white over black 1983 911 SC Cabriolet with 92,000 miles was bid to $35,300. A black over silver gray original owner 1987 911 Cabriolet M491 was bid to $80,000. A Rosso Corsa Euro 1981 Ferrari Mondial 8 Coupe with 55,000 kilometers was bid to $28,600. On Cars and Bids, a mostly speed yellow modified 2007 Porsche Cayman with 128,000 miles was bid to $15,450. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, a 928, a 968, a Boxster, and 6 911s. Ferrari's 328 and 360 Modena. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Grand Prix White 1979 928 with 80,000 miles that sold for $13,000. Bid to $13,500 in January. This was a fair sale. A silver over black 1976 914 2.0 sold for $15,000. A decent car, this was well purchased. A triple black 1977 911S Targa with 75,000 miles sold for $46,500. For a low-mile example like this was a bargain price. A Guards Red over Black 1986 911 Targa with 146,000 miles sold for $55,600. A clean and well-presented Targa with more than a few miles, this was well sold. A Basalt Black 30,000-mile 2009 911S Coupe sold for $65,000. Another pricey 997, this was just beyond fair. A Zenith Blue over Gray 7,000-mile 1997 911 Cabriolet sold for $100,000. A sale price a bit too dear for this to become something other than a garage or collection dweller. This was well sold. A Guards Red modified 1985 911 Coupe M491 with 98,000 miles sold for $101,000. More aggressive than stock with the RSR style front bumper, the sale was probably fair. A stone gray, restored and modified 1964 356C coupe sold for $127,000. High quality work has been performed here, and the resulting car was well purchased. On Cars and Bids, a triple black 1998 Boxster with 88,000 miles sold for $8,300. Not a perfect car, sold with a hardtop. This was well purchased. A white over, very red 1999 Ferrari 360 Modena with a salvage and rebuilt title with 29,000 miles sold for $79,500. Very red. Obviously, the title held down the bidding. This was likely a fair sale. On P-Car Market, a Ruby Stone Rest of World 16,000 mile 1992 Porsche 968 Coupe sold for $85,000. Originally delivered to Japan, this is a wonderful car, well sold. A Python Green 2023 911T Coupe with 230 miles sold for $133,250. A striking car. Sticker was $132. This was on the high side of fair or well sold. A Bianco over blue 14,000 mile 1987 Ferrari 328 GTS sold for $110,000. An uncommon color combo. This was a fair sale. 4 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 10th. A garnet red 1986 Porsche 944 Turbo with 86,000 miles was bid to $18,000. A triple black 1988 911 Cabriolet with 109,000 kilometers located in Canada was bid to $41,000. A Conda green over black 1970 911E Targa was bid to $80,500. A Rosso Corsa Euro 1983 Ferrari 308 GTB Quattro Vivale 3.5 liter was bid to $90,000. On Cars and Bids, a midnight blue over sand beige 2007 Porsche 911 Targa 4S with 122,000 miles was bid to $35,250. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a Cayenne and 3 911s plus a Ferrari Testarossa. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a black 2008 Cayenne GTS with 147,000 miles that sold for $20,957. Probably about right for this car and condition. This was a fair sale. A Guards Red 1974 911 Coupe sold for $63,000. A good-looking example, this was a fair sale on a car with a recently rebuilt engine. A Carrera White 2009 911 C4S Coupe with 58,000 miles sold for $72,000. Another high-priced 997 sale, this was well sold. A Shark Blue over Bordeaux Red 2022 911 Targa 4S with 1,900 miles sold for $178,000. Red. Sticker here was $175,000. This was well sold. For Ferrari, a narrow 1987 Testarossa with 25,000 miles sold for $142,000. Red. Not low mileage, not an exorbitant price. This was a fair sale. 1 car on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, November 11th. A Rainforest Green over Savannah Beige 37,000 mile 2002 911 Cabriolet was bid to $25,500. That's it. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. On Bring a Trailer today, a Porsche 356, a Boxster, and a pair of 911s. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a triple black 32,000 mile 1998 Boxster that sold for $12,800. A steal on a 986. This was well purchased. An Atlas Gray 30,000 mile 2005 911S Coupe sold for $43,000. A great color on a good car, this was a fair sale. A black 18,000 mile 2005 911 C4S sold for $53,500. At the upper end of the price spectrum for a 996, non-GT2 or 3 or turbo, this was slightly well sold. A ruby red 33 years owned 1965 356C Coupe sold for $129,500. A better than average car, this was a fair sale. One car on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, November 12th. A Guards Red Over Black 33,000 mile 1990 911 Cabriolet was bid to $57,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, a big show. Porsches include 15 911s, a 356, a 912, a 914, a Boxster, and a pair of Ferraris, a 360, and a Testarossa. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a light ivory over black 1974 914, which sold for $14,500. A rust-free example, this was at least a fair sale. A black 2003 911 C4S Coupe X51 sold for $28,900. Yesterday we had a 996 C4S that sold at the top of the value range, over $50,000. This is at the bottom and still a decent car. This was well purchased. An Arctic Silver 2005 911S Cabriolet with 54,000 miles sold for $51,000. A somewhat surprising result, as the seller was completely absent from the auction. That, my friend, goes to show how frothy is the 997 market, and that buyers are chasing inventory. This was beyond fair, well sold. A repainted, white, modified 1979 911 SC Coupe with 150,000 miles located in Canada sold for $66,911. Originally oak green, a good color that I've owned, turbo flares have been added at each corner. This was well sold. From a turbo look to a turbo, a GT Silver 2007 911 Turbo Coupe with 96,000 miles sold for $69,999. More miles than typically seen on these, still this was well purchased and a highly capable 997. It's a turbo trio. A black 1987 911 Turbo Coupe 3.5-liter race car sold for $78,000. Allow me to read directly from the auction page. Invoices totaling over $88,000 for work performed from 2014 through 2016, along with over $76,000 of work completed from 2016 through 2022. Racing is expensive. This was likely a fair sale. An Irish Green 1968 912 Coupe sold for $86,912. Sold here in 2016 for $65,000. This is a very nice, well-preserved car. It's not a car that I could see personally spending that amount on, but 912s do have an audience, and this was well sold. A repainted silver 30-year family-owned 1963 356B Super 90 Coupe sold for $87,500. Originally black, this is a very clean example, and it was a fair sale. A Meteor Gray 46,000 kilometer 2011 911 Turbo Coupe located in Canada sold for $130,000. Frothy 997.2. Among 997s, the .2s are garnering even more attention and dollars. About the interior, one commenter that has this color combo stated that it turned heads. Yep, some of us do choose to avert our eyes from the horrors of the interior color and dead trees. This was well sold. A Grand Prix White 1986 911 Turbo Coupe with 59,000 miles sold for $135,000. A nicely restored Turbo. This sold to a non-paying buyer in July for $147,000. As then, this was well sold. A Guards Red 26,000 mile 2007 911 GT3 presented by a great seller sold for $135,000. Repainted at a very high level after having the sunroof deleted. And by the way, sunroof deletion or sunroof removal, which I think is nonsense, is sort of a double negative. No? Shouldn't we call it sunroof filling or roof smoothing? This sold here for $115,000 last November, which I called a bargain. Less of a bargain today. This was a fair sale. A black 2018 911 GT3 with 14,000 miles sold for $158,000. Perhaps a lesson in 2023 market dynamics, this car sold here in June for $170,000, and I created a short video about it, link below. At that time, it wore Pepita interior bits that I complained about. It was relisted in September and bid and unsold at $163,000. Subsequent to that listing, the Pepita bits were exchanged for Alcantara and carbon fiber, and the car was driven 350 miles. Very expensive, and still, I believe, well sold. More comparison photos will be in today's short video. A Viper Green Euro 1973 911 S Coupe with 99,000 kilometers sold for $218,000. Delivered to Italy, it was imported to the U.S. earlier this year. This is a mostly original car, and it sold at a fair price. A Guards Red 4,000-mile 2011 911 GT2 RS sold for $705,000. Limited to 500 examples, this is an uncommon beast. And another 997.2, rated at 612 horsepower, it's motorcycle fast and extraordinarily capable, but not scary to drive. Importantly, it's a manual. Well sold. For Ferrari, a gray over beige Canadian market 2001 360 Spider with 30,000 kilometers located in Florida sold for $107,000. An above average car, this was well purchased. A Rosso Corsa 4,300 mile 1989 Testarossa sold for $191,000. Another seller absent during the sale, this was a fair result on a low-mile classic supercar. On PCAR Market, a GT Silver 24,000-mile 2004 Porsche Boxster S550 Spider Edition sold for $19,050. This limited edition of 1953 includes a tad more power and a handful of extra equipment in its build, plus this exclusive exhaust. This was a fair sale. A black, modified 2006 911 Coupe with 108,000 miles sold for $32,773. The combination of mods and miles made this an affordable 997. This was a fair sale. A Grand Prix White over Blue 1987 911 Cabriolet with 62,000 miles sold for $60,000. A late Model 3.2 cab, this car represents tremendous value. This was well purchased. A light yellow, one family owned 1973 911T Coupe Sportomatic with 120,000 miles sold for $63,150. Inaccurately described by the seller as totally stock despite some obvious replacements, and also described as sometimes tricky to start, this non-clutch manual 911 is an oddity. Not for me, but it found a home. This was probably a fair sale. A Carrera White modified 2007 911 GT3 RS style 4-liter with 40,000 miles sold for $146,000. Take a GT3 and make it quicker and faster. Okay. With 997.2 GT3 RS fender flares around and an engine pushed up to 4 liters by BBI, a well-regarded shop, for reference, this is an actual 4.0, pretty close and hundreds of thousands less than the original. I think this was a bargain. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 13th. A black 1984 Porsche 944 with 37,000 miles was bid to $10,844. A silver 1989 944 Turbo with 113,000 miles was bid to $23,500. On Cars and Bids, a white over black and Bordeaux red 2017 Boxster with 64,000 miles was bid to $33,500. That's a wrap for today's big day. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 4 911s, including a pair of 992 GT3s, a 356, a 944, a Boxster, plus Ferrari 360 and a 575M. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include an Arctic Silver over Black 2000 Boxster S with 90,000 miles that sold for $10,000. An S for $10,000. Bargain. A Kalahari Beige 1986 944 Turbo with 114,000 miles sold for $15,944. Not a perfect 944 and a lot of brown inside. This was on the far end of fair. An Ocean Blue 2000 911 Coupe with 71,000 miles sold for $32,996. A nice car, and I liked the all blue, but it sold at a high price. Well sold. A red 1973 911T Coupe 2.7 liter sold for $65,500. Probably a fair sale. The engine was rebuilt a few years ago, and it was repainted sometime before that. A Dolphin Gray repainted 1965 356C Cabriolet sold for $151,000. Originally Signal Red, this numbers matching 356 has been nicely rebuilt over the years. This was a fair sale. A Chalk 2022 911 GT3 with 600 miles sold for $225,000. Sticker here was $181,000. This was well sold. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa 19,000 mile 2000 360 Modena sold for $105,000. Too much beige inside for my taste. This was at least fair, perhaps edging toward bargain territory. An Argento Nürburgring 2002 575M Maranello 6-speed conversion with 26,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $181,000. Sold here 2 years ago for $181,000 by a different great seller. The interior is somewhat polarizing. This was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a white 2022 911 GT3 with 2,100 miles sold for $228,000. Stickered at $198,000, this was well sold. One car on Bring a Trailer failed to meet its reserve November 14th. A Gaio Modena 2007 Ferrari F430 with 49,000 miles was bid to $175,430. On Cars and Bids, a Seal Gray over Gray 2002 Porsche 911 Cabriolet with 62,000 miles was bid to $22,250. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 6 911s, a 914, a Cayenne, and a Cayman. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a black 2009 Cayenne with 152,000 miles that sold for $9,652. Not a bad car. This was well purchased. Another black 2009. This, a Cayman with 99,000 miles, sold for $23,500. This was another well purchased car, or truck. A silver over black 6-cylinder 1974 914 sold for $24,000. A nice 914. This was a fair sale. An amethyst over gray 1991 911 C4 Cabriolet with 72,000 miles sold for $65,000. An uncommon color, not necessarily the most desirable, still this was well purchased. A stone gray backdated 1979 911 SC 3.2 liter sold for $115,000. Many mods here, likely exceeding today's sale price. This was at least a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a one-owner 2004 911 C4S with 160,000 miles sold for $19,250. This week we've had C4Ss sell in the 50s, 20s, and now the teens. This was well purchased. On PCAR Market, a black over sand beige 26,000 mile 2012 911 GTS Cabriolet sold for $80,000. A sad sea of sand and another 997.2 well sold. A Grand Prix white over Savannah beige 1989 911 Turbo Cabriolet with 51,000 miles sold for $121,500. A 5-speed 930, one of 600 produced. This was a fair sale price. And Savannah, yes, but so much better with the black dash. A Guards Red 29,000 mile 1995 911 Speedster conversion sold for $230,000. Originally a 993 cab, this Speedster-style body conversion used a mixture of genuine 964 Speedster and 993 turbo components. A well-executed creation, this was well sold. I'll show more and talk about this build in today's short video. 5 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 15th. A Grand Prix white over black 1995 Porsche 911 C4 Cabriolet with 88,000 miles was bid to $41,000. A Polar Silver 1996 911 C4S with 78,000 miles was bid to $98,000. A black over gray 1989 911 Turbo Cabriolet M505 slant nose was bid to $103,505. A red 1975 Dino 208 GT4 with 98,000 kilometers was bid to $51,000. A Rosso Corsa over beige 2007 Ferrari F430 Spider 6-speed conversion was bid to $120,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, a 924, a 928, and a pair of 911s, plus a Ferrari F355. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a black 1985 928S with 187,000 miles that sold for $21,000. Not a bad car, externally. Inside, bloodbath. This was a relist after selling here in September for $21,250 to a non-paying buyer. This was a fair sale. A repainted signal yellow 1972 911T Targa project car sold for $40,250. This car had a 4-decade owner prior to the selling dealer, and they changed the color from light yellow to signal. Here are reference colors of each. It needs engine work and numerous cosmetic touches, but the project seems eminently worthwhile, and it might be a fun endeavor. My best to the buyer. This was a fair sale. A ruby red 1957 356A coupe sold for $96,000. Sold with an extra engine. This nice car was a fair sale. For Ferrari, a Bianco Canadian market 1997 F355 Berlinetta with 55,000 kilometers, presented by a great seller in California, sold for $180,000. White Ferraris, Miami Vice notwithstanding, are uncommon. With an engine-out service completed last year, this should be good to go for a while, and this was well purchased. On P-Car Market, a Diamond Silver 1978 924 M471 project car sold for $500. A collection of extra parts accompanied this sale. The parts alone are worth $500. And the car was essentially free. It runs, it drives, at least a little bit. Well purchased. An orange 1969 911S ST Tribute 3.4-liter twin plug located in Belgium sold for $110,000. Sit back, relax, and permit me to share with you the entire driving video. A bargain sale price, all the way around. Shipping, whatever. Well purchased. I'll show more and talk about this build in today's short video. 4 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 16th. A repainted yellow 1970 914 was bid to $11,000. A blue over black 1981 911 SC Cabriolet conversion from a Targa with 84,000 miles was bid to $21,000. A triple black 2006 911 Cabriolet with 76,000 miles was bid to $25,500. A repainted, gray, modified 1968 911L was bid to $66,000. 3 cars and bids auctions had reserves not met. A Guards Red 2008 Cayman S Sport with 58,000 miles was bid to $26,000. A Racing Yellow 2020 Boxster with 11,300 miles was bid to $48,500. A triple black 2019 911 Speedster with 3,100 miles, number 103 of 1,948 examples, was bid to $314,000. Easy as pie. 291 sticker. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 7 911s and a Boxster, plus a Ferrari 328. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a speed yellow over black 2004 911 C4S Cabriolet with 90,000 miles that sold for $33,500. We've had a handful of C4Ss this week. This is a nice one and well worth the sale price. This was fair, edging toward a bargain. A repainted maroon over black Rest of World 1977 Carrera 3.0 Targa with 97,000 miles sold for $43,500. Originally ice green, this was likely a fair sale. A Bahia Red 1971 911E Targa presented by a great seller sold for $57,000. This is a decent car, but it needs some touches and the engine has been replaced at some point. This was a fair sale. Another open car, an Ocean Blue over Gray 1997 911 Cabriolet with 48,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $60,493. Sold here 2 years ago for $58,250. This was a fair sale and a good value. A Carrera White 44,000 mile 2011 911S Coupe sold for $66,156. Still more expensive for a 997 than I believe is sound. This was well sold. A graphite gray 1991 911 C4 apparatus GS 964 by GS manufacturer sold for $250,000. These cars appear to be extremely well built. I haven't had the chance to compare them side by side with a Singer or Gunther Works, and I'm sure in some ways those two are superior. However, they sell for a multiple of this car. This was a fair sale. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over beige 30,000 mile 1987 328 GTS sold for $81,500. A nice price on a clean car that is due for some maintenance. This was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a triple black 1999 911 Cabriolet with 60,000 miles sold for $19,000. A big bargain here on an inspected 996. Well purchased. On P-Car Market, a Platinum over Black 2012 Boxster S with 57,000 miles sold for $32,500. A 987 in great condition, and the seller received a great price. Well sold. 3 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 17th. An Opel 1979 928 with 55,000 miles was bid to $13,750. A triple black 4,400 mile 2000 Boxster was bid to $16,900. A green twin plug 1970 914 6 race car was bid to $59,099. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, a Boxster, and 10 911s, and a Ferrari 308. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a triple blue 2008 911 Cabriolet with 73,000 miles that sold for $33,000. There's a lot to like about this car, at least for me. The price as well. Well purchased. A Guards Red 2003 911 C4S Coupe with 55,000 miles sold for $40,249. Sold here 2 years ago for $49,000. This sold at higher than I expected. The paint finish isn't satisfying. Well sold. A multi-hued iris blue modified 1986 911 Coupe with 380,000 miles sold for $55,500. I owned an 86 Rest of World in this color, but mine was a single shade of blue with blue sport seats and black centered wheels and a whale tail. This car with the RSR front spoiler and T-tray, no sport seats, not to my liking. And the mileage? Well sold. A black over caramel X Teofabi 1991 911 C4 Targa with 253,000 miles sold for $55,964. Another high mileage car. This was also on the well sold sides of the equation. A red modified 1974 911 sold for $57,500. Steel turbo flares all around and a fiberglass ducktail, a replacement engine, repainted, and unknown mileage. All that, and still this was a fair sale price. An Arctic Silver 2002 911 Turbo Coupe X50 with 25,000 miles located in Canada sold for $70,000. This is a nice car. Sad, sorry, sea of ghostly, gloomy gray notwithstanding, and it was well sold. Black wheel, black mats, black instrument cowl. A Meteor Gray 36,000 mile 2007 911 Turbo Coupe sold for $90,200. This 997 has a custom tune and pushes well over 500 horsepower. This was a fair sale. A triple black 7,000 mile 2016 Boxster Spider sold for $95,981. Sticker on this 981 was $98,000. This was well sold. A gray vinyl wrapped, gray, highly modified 2.7 liter powered 1962 356B Roadster converted from a coupe sold for $97,000. As one comment suggested, chopped, flared, wrapped VW engine, but well done. This was a fair sale for the non-purists among us. A Grand Prix white 41,000 mile 1997 911 coupe sold for $97,500. Sold here in January 22 for $123,000. This is a relist after a non-paying buyer bid $90,911 in September. I called this a fair sale then, even with the tepid tan tone treatment. Ditto. A black, modified rest of world 1983 911 Turbo with 69,000 miles sold for $103,000. Many modifications here. Engine, suspension, interior, and modified cars don't typically bring the dollars. This was perhaps well sold, and the right buyer showed up today. A black 2010 911 GT3 with 49,000 miles sold for $139,000. 150 is about where 997 GT3s land. This was a bit light. Well purchased. A silver 1965 356 SC sunroof coupe sold for $160,000. This seems like a solid car, and the price paid, fair. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over beige 1985 308 GTS Quattro with 65,000 miles sold for $76,000. This is a decent car, and it sold at a fair price. Two cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met November 18th and 19th. A crystal silver 2009 Porsche Cayenne GTS with 170,000 miles was bid to $18,350. A Carrera White over Carrera Red 25,000 mile 2008 911 Turbo Cab was bid to $82,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 356, a 944, a GT4, 14 911s, including a Speedster and a GT3. Ferraris include a 328 and a 360 Spider. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Guards Red 1986 944 Turbo with 87,000 miles that sold for $26,000. A decent car, this sold above my expectation and was well sold. A black 2003 911 C4S Coupe with 76,000 miles sold for $36,000. Probably within the fair price zone, this is a nice 996 for the money. Another 911 C4S, this a triple black 2008 Cabriolet with 52,000 miles sold for $48,750. A clean car, a strange auction. Overall, this was a fair sale. A midnight blue over sand beige 11,000 mile 2007 911S Cabriolet sold for $58,000. A nice exterior and a soggy sea of sand with a splash of seaweed on the console. This was well sold. A platinum over brown 39,000 mile 1984 911 Targa sold for $64,411. A better than average car, this sold at an average price. Well purchased. A stone gray 1989 911 C4 coupe with 130,000 miles sold for $82,000. A good color, this was on the high side of fair. A repainted red 1964 356C coupe sold for $83,001. Originally light ivory, what else? This replacement engine car was a fair price for a decent driver. A white 2016 Cayman GT4 with 31,000 miles sold for $104,001. The sticker here was $97,000. This was well sold. A canary yellow original owner 1968 911L coupe presented by a great seller sold for $160,000. This car has a few dings and it leaks oil, but it was loved by the bidding audience as it is as original as it gets, unrestored. This was well sold. A gray, modified RSR style 1974 911 Coupe 3.6 liter, presented by a great seller, sold for $166,000. Sold last November for $195,000. This was a better price on a very nice build and a fair sale, perhaps a bargain. A third 911 C4S, this a Grand Prix White 28,000 mile 1996, sold for $181,993. A good looking white car and blue inside, this was well sold. Another Grand Prix White 1989 911 Turbo Coupe with 48,000 miles, presented by a great seller, sold for $200,000. As usual, well presented, and as is typically the case, well sold. Another 89, this a triple black Canadian market 1989 911 Speedster with 3,000 kilometers, sold for $238,000. One of 17 made for Canada, this was very well sold. I'll show more and talk about this Speedster in today's short video. A black 2022 911 GT3 Touring with 984 miles sold for $279,000. Sticker here, 216. Very well sold. For Ferrari, a Grigio Titanio over blue 10,000 mile 2004 360 Spider sold for $152,000. A nice car. This was well purchased. On Cars and Bids, a Carrera White extensively modified 2002 Porsche 911 Turbo Coupe with 89,000 miles sold for $46,000. A few more miles than is typical, and with the front wheels no longer pulling, this was well purchased. A black, modified 1995 911 with 56,000 miles sold for $67,500. The mods probably held this back a bit. This was well purchased. An agate gray 2014 911S coupe with 35,000 miles sold for $73,911. A pretty clean car, this was a fair sale. On P-Car Market, a Rosso Corsa over beige 20,000 mile 1987 Ferrari 328 GTS sold for $91,000. A fine low-mile car, this was a fair sale. Two cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 20th. A Zenith Blue over Gray 15,000 mile 2000 Porsche Boxster S was bid to $17,300. A Rosso Corsa Euro US Federalized 1988 Ferrari Testarossa with 8,000 kilometers located in Canada was bid to $99,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 14 911s and a Boxster. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a black 2000 911 Coupe with 97,000 miles. It sold for $26,500. A murdered out 996, this car was well presented, and some comments suggested that it was perhaps deceptively photographed. For what it is and might be, this was likely on the high side of fare. A GT Silver 40,000 mile 2004 911 40th Anniversary Edition sold for $43,000. Lots of fours here. These are limited edition cars, 1963 produced. Perhaps strangely, more limited edition 2004 911s were produced than non-anniversary editions. This seems a solid car, and the sale was fair. A slate gray over gray 42,000 mile 2007 911S Cabriolet sold for $47,000. Good color and sold just a tad high. This price could certainly be rationalized as fair by most. An Arctic Silver 33,000 mile 2007 911S Coupe sold for $56,000. As the last car presented, sold just a tad high, rationalizing, etc., fair to most. A black 1989 911 Coupe 3.4 liter with 110,000 miles sold for $58,500. Flood damaged 30 years ago, and with a rebuilt engine, it's likely the previous owner of 15 years and 50,000 miles sorted any gremlins. The car isn't perfect, but it is fair, as was the sale price. A yellow, modified ST style 1970 911T Coupe twin plug 2.5 liter sold for $88,500. A lot of track car for the money with some deferred maintenance due. This was likely a bargain. I'll show more and talk about this racer in today's short video. A light ivory 1971 911T Coupe 2.4 liter sold for $114,000. In storage for 20 years, rebuilt in 2012, and with the engine refreshed to 200 horsepower last year at a cost of $54,000, this was at least a fair sale. A black 2007 911 GT3 with 27,000 miles sold for $127,000. A big bargain on a black beauty. It's had an accident. Still, I think there's value here. A Polar Silver modified 33,000 mile turbocharged 1996 911 C4S sold for $128,911. Twice listed here in the past year. First bid to $125,000 in October 22 and then $119,000 in July. This seems well sold. 400 horsepower at the wheels though. It runs, but apparently not fast enough to outrun those spats ahead of the rear wheels. Ugh. A Grand Prix White 1991 911 Coupe with 56,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $135,000. An exceptional 993. This was a top of market sale. Better than average 993 coupes fall in the 90 plus zone, cabs in the 60s, as we've recently shown. A carmine red over black and red 2023 911 Targa 4 GTS with 1,000 miles sold for $217,000. Sticker here was $220,000. Well sold, but no waiting for a spec like this. But red vents? No. A Gulf Blue 2022 911 GT3 with 1,900 miles sold for $260,000. Sticker here was $195. Love it. Color? Blue. See? Well sold. On Cars and Bids, a Carrera White 2006 911S with 89,000 miles sold for $45,997. Equipped with the factory aero kit, this was a 997 sold at a fair price. Spats? No. Taco wing? See. On P-Car Market, a triple black 2010 Boxster S with 55,000 miles sold for $30,000. Not a bad car, pushed to the edge of fair. Better wheels would help. Speaking of better wheels improving a car, a Pacific Blue Rest of World 1982 911 Turbo sold for $73,800. Lack of any vehicle history makes this car a roll of the dice. The color's uncommon, the mileage unknown, the wheel finish straight out of the 80s, the seats from somewhere, and the bolted on gauge cool to a 12-year-old. Maybe not. 4 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 21st. A black 1988 Porsche 924S Special Edition with 68,000 miles was bid to $11,273. A linen gray over beige 16,000 mile 1990 944 S2 Cabriolet was bid to $14,500. An Arctic Silver over Black LS3 powered 2005 Boxster S with 62,000 miles was bid to $33,750. Yikes. A Rosso Corsa over Black 21,000 kilometer Euro 1995 F355 GTS was bid to $185,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, 10 911s, a 928, a pair of Boxsters, and a Cayman, and a 512 TR and 512 BBI Ferraris, plus an F355 Spider. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a black 1979 928 project car that sold for $8,600. Many warts here and work to be done. This may still have been well sold. An Arctic Silver over Black 1999 Boxster with 68,000 miles sold for $9,550. A fair car, this sold at a bargain price. A Carrera White over Sand Beige 2005 Boxster with 94,000 miles sold for $10,250. Quicksand notwithstanding, this was more of a bargain than the previous car. Well purchased. An Arctic Silver 2003 911 Coupe with unknown mileage located in Canada sold for $34,500. This seems to be a good car. It was on the high side of fair. A black over linen 1988 911 Cabriolet with 64,000 miles sold for $58,500. The linen interior definitely pops, and it doesn't look bad, regardless of its near impracticality for daily use. The selling price was a bargain for a late 3.2 cab. A black 1997 911 Targa with 107,000 miles sold for $85,500. A very nice car with extensive documentation. This was a fair sale. A brown Rest of World 1982 911 Turbo project car sold for $76,000. Not a bad starting point for a project, but a bit high on price to me, given the engine rebuild and paint concerns. Well sold. A Conda Green 1971 911S Coupe sold for $201,000. A nicely restored car, meant to enjoy and not just polish. It'll handle that duty, but why? This was a fair sale. A Polar Silver 1992 911 Carrera RS with 45,000 kilometers presented by a great seller sold for $269,000. Look at those seats. Factory RSs weren't brought to the U.S. This example was delivered to Germany and it swam to Arizona last year. These are typically $250,000 cars, and this was in the ballpark. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over Tan 1996 F355 Spider sold for $92,000. Either poor photography or a car that has some paint issues, this was close to a fair sale. A Rosso Corsa 27,000 kilometer Euro 1992 512 TR sold for $254,000. A nice car. Again, photography. The Rosso looks much deeper than typical. This was a fair sale. Let's compare the Rossos. Another, this on a 1984 512 BBI with 16,000 miles, sold for $308,000. Originally delivered to Austria, it hit our shores just 2 months later. A beautiful car, this was likely a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a Meteor Gray 2009 Porsche Cayman with 57,000 miles sold for $28,000. A 987 in nice shape and well presented, this was on the far side of fair. A GT Silver over Graphite Blue and Chalk 2019 911 Targa 4 GTS with 7,800 miles sold for $156,000. The interior is interesting, not offensive, interesting, and this was well sold. On PCAR Market, a blue 1969 911E Coupe sold for $59,000. Cheapened by the lettering on the side, this driver was probably a fair sale. An ice green 1976 911S Coupe, a U.S. car located in Canada, sold for $59,911. A beautiful car, this seems to have been well purchased. A black 1992 911 3.8 liter with 168,000 miles, a U.S. car located in Canada, sold for $164,964. The 3.8 is represented as having been built for $150,000 Canadian last year. This 964 was well purchased. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 22nd. A Grand Prix White RS Style 1972 Porsche 911T Coupe with 2.7 liter was bid to $66,000. A white 3.6 powered 1987 911 Coupe was bid to $66,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches sold include a 356, a pair of Boxsters, a Cayman, a 928, a 968, a dozen 911s, and a Ferrari F355. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Midnight Blue 1994 968 Coupe with unknown mileage that sold for $17,250. A very nice car. This needs a few items, but the price allows for this. This was well purchased. A Guards Red over Savannah Beige, original owner 2000 Boxster with 28,000 miles, sold for $18,000. Savage Savannah swaddles seats and gauges are similarly shaded. This was a fair sale. An Arctic Silver over Black and Gray 2005 Boxster S with 55,000 miles sold for $19,750. Interesting interior, decent car, and this was well purchased. An Iris Blue 1986 and a half 928S with 34,000 miles sold for $47,300. A good car and a good price. This was well purchased. A Slate Gray over Gray 1992 911 Cabriolet with 77,000 miles sold for $48,500. An above-average car, this was a bargain. A white Rest of World 1984 911 Coupe with 75,000 kilometers sold for $72,000. A classic car with an enduring silhouette, this also was well purchased. A Forest Green over Cashmere Beige 1995 911 Cabriolet with 42,000 miles sold for $78,015. I'll let these colors speak for themselves, as it were, not to this guy's liking. Still, a fair sale. A green 1970 911T Coupe located in Canada sold for $79,500. First delivered to the Netherlands before trekking to Canada, this is a highly original car, except for a repaint. This was a fair sale. A Bahia Red over Black 1973 911E Targa sold for $85,500. A lot of 911 for the money, this was a fair sale. A black 1987 911 Turbo Coupe slant nose conversion with 58,000 miles sold for $101,500. A standard turbo with a new steel front end, this was likely a fair sale. A Smyrna Green 2.1-liter powered 1963 356B coupe sold for $131,000. An interesting car, lots of expensive work done. This was on the high side of fair. A Grand Prix White Rest of World 1982 911 Turbo roof modified with 83,000 kilometers sold for $157,000. Delivered to the German buyer and then forwarded to Roof, then sent to Japan, it remained there until being imported to the US earlier this year. This was very well purchased. I'll show more and talk about this roof in today's short video. Another forest green car, this a 1991 911 Turbo with 94,000 miles sold for $175,500. Like the previous green 911, people get lathered up when these are present. Well sold. A chalk 7,000 mile 2018 911 GT3 sold for $200,000. This rolled off the showroom floor at $186,000. This was well sold. A black modified Rest of World 1989 911 Turbo S sold for $305,000. Look at those seats. Listed here and well bid to $355,000 in February. This car wears many mods, including some roof touches. This was well sold. For Ferrari, a Gallo Modena 1995 F355 Berlinetta with 30,000 miles sold for $123,000. A bargain Berlinetta and on P-Car Market, a Signal Red 1973.5 Porsche 911T Targa sold for $57,000. A pretty nice car, this was likely at least a fair sale. A black 2,000-mile 2020 Cayman GT4 sold for $110,000. With a sticker of 139,000 Canadian, perhaps 100,000 US, this was well sold. 5 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 24th. A black over beige 1983 Porsche 911 SC Cabriolet with unknown mileage presented by a great seller was bid to $52,000. An Arctic Silver over black 2004 911 Turbo Cabriolet with 15,000 miles was bid to $63,000. A silver with Martini livery modified 1967 911S Coupe was bid to $77,000. A red 1977 930 Turbo race car was bid to $87,500. A Glacier White Rest of World 1998 911 Turbo XLC was bid to $208,000. On Cars and Bids, a black 2003 911 Turbo Coupe with 26,000 miles was bid to $59,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, 3 911 Porsches and a 348 Ferrari. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a triple black 1995 911 Cabriolet with 59,000 miles that sold for $64,000. I'll say this each time. Cabs are a great way to get into a 993. This was a fair sale. A Gemini Blue 1973 911T coupe located in Canada sold for $78,500. A very nice T, not a bargain, but certainly fair. The chrome, though, can go. A black 2018 911 GT3 Touring with 4,200 miles sold for $221,000. Sticker here was $148,000. This was fair based on comparable sales. Otherwise, well sold. It's a conundrum. In my gut, these are simply not worth the premium, yet they are routinely sold for outsized prices, making the sales fair in that sense. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over beige, 38,000 mile 1994 348 Spider sold for $75,000. Not a bad car. This was a fair sale. Two cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 25th. A Guards Red 48,000 mile 1986 Porsche 911 Cabriolet was bid to $40,000. A Viper Green 3.4 liter powered 1971 911T presented by a great seller was bid to $172,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 10 911s, Ferraris include a GT4, a 328, and a 512M. Hi there. Porsche sold and Bring a Trailer include a black 1982 911 SC Targa with 87,000 miles presented by a great seller that sold for $45,600. Sometimes you buy the seller, sometimes you buy the car. Both apply in this case. Well purchased. A black and red 1970 911E Coupe sold for $73,500. There seems to be lots of value here. A quality car, an interesting build, like it or not, well purchased. A black metallic 20 years owned 1997 911 C4S Coupe with more than 173,000 miles sold for $80,500. A relist from a non-paying buyer auction in September priced at $72,993. Lots of miles here. A Betty car, beautiful exterior and damnable interior. Crummy cashmere, blighted beige, still a fair sale. More cashmere. A black 1996 911 coupe with some miles in excess of 56,000 sold for $90,000. Not a perfect 993, and a wing the size of a small pterodactyl, regardless, a fair sale. A stone gray 1987 911 Turbo Coupe with 53,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $170,000. A paint to sample color outside and in silver gray. This was a fair sale on a beautiful car. A Ruby Star Neo 2023 911 GT3 Touring with 20 miles sold for $255,000. Sticker here was $231 for this bubblegum over blue raspberry, or as a comment suggested, Barney and the Smurfs. The car still did well. Well sold. An Amethyst 1994 911 Turbo 3.6 with a frown and 21,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $395,000. Frowns. $400,000. Not really acceptable to me, but the car is otherwise beautiful. The car previously sold last year for $401,000 and in January this year for $401,000. This was a top of market example and a fair sale. For Ferrari, I missed a car a couple of days ago, a red and black over beige 1978 Ferrari 308 GT4 with 6,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $130,007. A special car, ones like this are very uncommon. This was another top of market example sold at a fair, justifiable price. Just to be clear, when introduced, these were Dino GT4s. And in 76, they changed to being Ferrari GT4s. I'll show more and talk about this GT4 in today's short. A white over black 1987 328 GTS with 43,000 miles sold for $80,000. A little high on miles, and having been repainted and reupholstered, this was still a bargain, just not for the purists. A Rosso Corsa Euro 1994 F512M with 72,000 kilometers sold for $375,000. Driven. Love it. One of 500 produced, the 512Ms are the last of the Testarossa-derived cars. 432 horsepower. This was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a triple black 2003 911 C4 Cabriolet with 110,000 miles sold for $21,000. A heck of a bargain on an all-original 996. This was well purchased. On P-Car Market, a Polar Silver 39,000-mile 2001 911 Turbo Coupe sold for $61,500. A non-sunroof model. A few thousand extra dollars went toward that effort. This was a fair sale. Looky, a Ruby Star Neo, 3,000-mile 2023 911 Coupe sold for $135,000. Fitted with a very respectable black leather and Sportex, this sold slightly below its build price of $142,000. This was, alas, well sold. 5 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 27th. A Meridian 2003 911 C4S Coupe with 55,000 miles was bid to $34,750. A triple black 16,000-mile 2008 911 S Cabriolet was bid to $48,000. An Irish green 40 years owned 1967 911 Coupe was bid to $66,000. A Guards Red 28 years owned 1988 911 Coupe was bid to $66,000. A Ruby Red 1964 356 SC Coupe was bid to $80,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 2 914s, 2 944s, a Boxster, a Cayman, and 4 911s. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a Malvern Red 1987 944S with 49,000 miles that sold for $15,500. Not a bad car, some work required. This was a fair sale. A triple black 7,000-mile 1999 Boxster sold for $17,500. A mostly pristine 986, this was a fair sale. $7,000. 24 years. Oof. A sunflower yellow over black 1974 914 sold for $18,400. A happy little car, rust-free and mostly stock. This was at the upper end of fare. A Guards Red over black 33,000-mile 1990 944 S2 Cabriolet sold for $21,000. Lots of documentation support the car and its value. Even with a non-functional power top, this was a fair sale. On Cars and Bids, a Basalt Black 2002 911 Turbo Coupe with 5,300 miles sold for $75,500. Decent 996 turbos with average mileage are $50,000 cars. This low-mile example was likely a fair sale, even with the dead trees in place. On P-Car Market, another yellow 914, this one in a much more serious rally yellow over black, modified 2.4 liter, it sold for $16,000. An interesting build, this was probably a fair sale. A Carmen Red 46,000-mile 2007 Cayman S sold for $25,000. A decent car, sad, sandy shores set aside, this was a fair sale. A Guards Red over Black 1985 911 Targa sold for $50,000. Supposedly meticulously maintained, yet full of notices from the independent inspection. Brake calipers dragging, loose shock absorber, hood non-supports, 15-year-old tires, worn suspension, a wheel bearing service in 2017. Enough. Okay, one more. The AC doesn't blow cold air, and it was disclosed in the listing. When asked for more information, the seller replied, "It worked until a year or two ago, but that's what the target top is for." To me, this screams run. Well sold, and good luck to the buyer. An Arena Red over Cashmere Beige 48,000 mile 1996 911 Targa sold for $92,000. A better than average car with a recent 17-year owner, lots of spares and replacements or original parts that accompany the sale, which was fair. Another Targa, this a Grand Prix White over Black modified 1990 911 Targa 3.8 liter with 144,000 miles, sold for $128,750. One of 158 produced for this model year, this car has been serviced and modified by Patrick Motorsports to the tune of more than $100,000. And it now sports an enlarged engine, upgraded suspension, revised interior, turbo fender flares, and more. This was a fair sale, perhaps a bargain if the style of the car suits you. I'll compare these Targas in today's short video. Two cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with their reserves not met today, November 28th. A black over gray 24,000 mile 2006 Porsche 911S Cabriolet was bid to $39,550. A repainted, yellow, 2.4 liter powered 1969 911T Coupe was bid to $50,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, 11 911 Porsches, a 924, a Boxster, and a Cayman, while Ferraris include a 308, a 360, and an F355. Hi there. Porsche sold on Bring a Trailer include a black over tan and Savannah beige 2001 Boxster S with 77,000 miles that sold for $13,750. A doubleheader of dubious sallow seats stretched anew over vast Savannah. Actually, the tan-tone replacements are much less offensive than the stock Savannahs, and while they don't exactly complement one another, it's not that bad. This 986 was a bargain. A Seal Gray 2001 911 Coupe with 92,000 miles sold for $25,750. Acquired here last year for $25,750. This was a fair sale. The wheels need some garnet sandblasting or something. An Arctic Silver 2004 911 C4S Coupe with 89,000 miles sold for $37,500. This C4S was well purchased and the wheels somewhat unique. GT3 wheels added as a factory option. Nice. A white 1978 924D production race car sold for $51,500. One of 16 cars built by Porsche, this was likely a fair sale. A petrol blue over cork 1979 911 SC Targa with 175,000 miles sold for $55,000. This Targa was a lot of car for this money. Well purchased. A black, 45 years family-owned, rest of world 1976 930 Turbo project car with 67,000 kilometers sold for $76,500. Sporting an interior dyed yellow. The seller's word choice, not mine. Mine would be mustard. This car needs engine and wheel work, a more palatable interior, and a different wing. None of this T-tray nonsense. This was a fair sale. An Arctic Silver 11,000 mile 2003 911 Turbo Coupe X50 presented by a great seller sold for $95,500. A big price for a 996 Turbo, even with low miles. Well sold. Another car from the same seller, a silver 1972 911T Coupe, sold for $116,000. A fabulous car. This was well sold. A cherry over Bordeaux red and Atacama beige 2021 911 Targa 4S Heritage Design Edition with 426 miles, sold for $195,000. Well, this interior has a distinct pinkish hue. Not great. Sticker here was $199,490. This was well sold. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa over beige 1985 308 GTSI Quattrovale with 30,000 miles, sold for $88,308. Supplied with a colored roof panel, that makes a nice difference. While the sale price was fair, the seller had offered free shipping and withdrew it at the last moment when he also removed the reserve. Kinda on the edge of shady. An Azuro, California 15,000 mile 2003 360 Spider sold for $144,458. This is a nice car. This was well sold. A blue Tour de France 1998 F355 Spider with 12,000 miles presented by a great seller sold for $145,000. Another nice car, also well sold. On Cars and Bids, an Arctic Silver 2000 Porsche 911 Cabriolet with 87,000 miles sold for $16,500. A rough customer, mods, wear, scratches and dents, but hey, a 911 for 16 grand. This was probably a fair sale. A Carrera White 2022 911 GT3 located in Canada with 7,800 miles, sold for $212,000. Likely to have a sticker below $200,000, this used car was well sold. On P-Car Market, an Arctic Silver 2000 911 C4 Coupe with 90,000 miles sold for $19,700. A bargain price on a fair car, well purchased. An Arctic Silver 2008 Cayman S with 68,000 miles sold for $28,000. Just beyond fair, well sold. An Arctic Silver 24,000 mile 2008 911 C4S Coupe sold for $52,000. With this mileage, this was a fair sale. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 5 911s, a 914, a Boxer, and a Carrera GT, plus a Ferrari 328. Hi there. Porsches sold on Bring a Trailer include a Marathon Blue over Black 1973 914 that sold for $13,400. Not a bad car. This was a fair sale and was previously sold by this dealer in 2013 and reacquired last year. A Platinum 1980 911 SC Weissach Coupe with 86,000 miles sold for $57,911. One of 400 in this color. This was an option package limited edition, meaning a group of selected options was bundled at a discounted price. Weissachs were also available in black. This was a fair sale. A black 31,000 mile 2005 911 Turbo S Coupe sold for $92,996. Carbon fiber overload. This is a very clean car and it was well purchased. A GT Silver over Ascot Brown 601 mile 2005 Carrera GT located in Canada sold for $1,781,420. Well, what do you say about one of the best cars in the world, going on 20 years old and 600 miles? Exceedingly sublime. Delivered to Illinois, then sunning in Florida, later sunning in the UK, and now in Canada. This was a fair sale. I'll show more and talk a bit about this GT in today's short video. For Ferrari, a Rosso Corsa 1978 308 GTB project car with 31,000 miles sold for $38,500. A non-running car with an engine problem reported as a broken rod, but likely is some other issue. Regardless, for someone with a little time and money, this was well purchased. On Cars and Bids, a triple black 1999 Porsche Boxster with 115,000 miles sold for $7,200. It is not perfect, but fine as a driver or second car. This was a bargain. An olive green Safari modified 2002 911 coupe with 100,000 miles sold for $22,500. An interesting avocado, this was a big bargain. On P-Car Market, a ruby red 28,000 mile 1984 911 coupe sold for $82,000. Low mileage drove the price, probably not the interior color, and this was a fair sale. A Guards Red 1989 911 C4 coupe with 76,000 miles sold for $86,750. In storage for 10 years, this is a good-looking Guards, and interior be damned, well purchased. One car on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, November 30th. A black 3,700 mile 2007 Porsche 911 Turbo Coupe presented by a great seller was bid to $141,000. On Cars and Bids, another black 2007 911, this an S Cabriolet with 75,000 miles, was bid to $30,001. A Gaio Modena 1997 Ferrari F355 Spider with 16,500 miles was bid to $76,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well.